Morning. In the last class, we have seen robotic process automation, where we completed the small conceptual learning, and of course, in this material, up to page number 42, it is covered. We will start with the next area in section F, artificial intelligence. Okay. So, what is artificial intelligence? Simple. Through the systems, through the machines, through the robots, you reduce your human energy, you reduce your manual work, automate the process. It can be a production process, it can be an accounting process, it can be anything. Okay, but reduce it. Through some external devices. Number one. Number two, that based on the command that you give, based on your expectation, the prompt that you write, the AI tool that you use will give you the results. Will give you what? The results. Okay. So what is a weak eye? What is a weak artificial intelligence? Simple, that is not actually conscious, but it will give you reports which has to be manually reviewed. Okay. So sometimes it will take delay, it will give you wrong information, it will give you wrong analysis. Definitely a human intervention will be required. One of the best examples is Apple Siri. Okay, it's a voice recognition software which is considered as weak. Okay, so simple, it will just access the internet, get the data and give it to you. It will not think and solve your problems, kind of a thing. That is called as what? Weak AI. Weak AI. What is a strong AI? It is equal to the human intelligence. For example, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gemini AI, all those things we use it as, we call it as strong AI, because you just write what is required or give an input of what is required, you get the output. It can be designing, or it can be reconciliation, or it can be extracting data from your system and providing the information to you, or it can be extracting data from external source and giving to you. For example, you want to analyze the financials of a company, simple strong AI, like a human that will think and analyze the financials like that. Okay. So next one, what is mission vision? Simple, missions are used for getting the data, input, controls, etc. It can be the cameras, it can be the image sensors, it can be image processing softwares where we scan, where we, for example, scan our eyeballs, attendance is taken, or where in front of the camera you just give the command that the thing is executed. Okay, and for example, image processing softwares are used for scanning certain documents and converting into digital form. Okay, simple. Nowadays systems, you just scan, it scans and it automatically does accounting also. That is called as what? Mission vision. Clear? So it can be used for different purposes. Clear? It can also automate the data extraction. Like you keep scanning the bills, automatically the data will be extracted. That will even pass a journal entry, post in ledger, kind of a thing. Clear? Machine learning, simple, making your computer to learn, to learn and perform repeatable jobs and time consuming jobs. For example, one of the best examples is you just insert the card, the machine recognizes you, thereafter it asks you to input your PIN, you take the money out. It's a kind of machine learning where the machine learns, okay, the customer wants money, it disperses the cash. That's a kind of an AI tooling. Okay, number one, you can check expenses reports using the machines. Here you just ask a query like July month expenses, which is out of control, which is control, or which is compared to the last month, which is more or less like that. Checking expenses reports, analyzing the payment received and invoices. Okay, these are the 500 invoices raised or the sales created, and what is the total collections for the year. What is collected, what is yet to be collected, how much is outstanding, those things. Okay, AI can be used for assessing the risk. Clear? We can just give the data, input, then it will assess and tell you the risk. Okay, then data analytics, like sales growth data, production data, efficiency data, okay, return on investment, etc. Bank reconciliations, yes, many people use AI for what? Bank reconciliation. Upload the cash book, upload the bank statement, it will reconcile and tell you all those things. Okay, so that is what all these things are there. So before instituting artificial intelligence, okay, so process should be reimagined wherever it is possible. Activities should be performed by AI, that should be standardized. Processes are automated, and that should be what? Fully documented. Data quality, both input and output, should be what? Reviewed, because otherwise it will give what? A wrong information. That is about artificial intelligence. So it's a small introduction about artificial intelligence. Let us go with questions based on which one? Artificial intelligence. Okay. Artificial intelligence is being currently used as a person using the computer input data. No, that is not AI. Okay, probably the second question is the correct question or correct option. Creating computers that can simulate intelligence processes. Otherwise, computers will think like a human and will give you thing. It is not reason making, judgment, learn. It is not using the computer. So it is a computer that will do all these reasoning, etc. Putting the knowledge into idly individual into a computer. No, it is not feeding information. Making the computer to think like a human. That is the first one. Second, AI is a field of computer science dedicated to creating it. Read through this. Please read through this. Let us solve. A computer system that would be capable of solving problem, making judgment and reasoning what a human does. Is it weak AI or strong AI? It is weak AI or strong AI? It's strong AI. Correct. It's a strong AI. Look at the third one. Cameras, image sensors, and image processing softwares used in which application of artificial intelligence? In which application? They don't ask you what is it. They don't ask you what is it. They ask you in which application these things are being used. Okay. So cameras, image sensors, image processing softwares are part of which one? Mission vision. How the mission gets the input. Next. AI can be used in which of the following? Distributed ledgers is an accounting software. EPM is a software. Physical access controls are nothing but storage, locking, creating a physical space. Mainly that is used in which one? Bank reconciliations. Bank reconciliation. Which is not an example of mission vision, Kekram. Which is not an example of mission vision.
Yeah.
Incoming documents are digitalized to eliminate data entry errors. Yes, that is a mission. Scanning, you just do, and we can avoid data entry errors. Scan, it captures the data and it records the data. That is, if they ask you, which is not an example of mission vision. CCTV cameras, are they missions? No. That is not a mission. Here, taking the mission vision, some other form should be created. Okay. Scan and digitalize. Okay. Cameras that can determine the efficiency rate. Cameras are there to determine what? Efficiency rate. Traffic signals automatically adjusted based on traffic volume. Yes, using a mission, you just do something. In case of surveillance systems, we just record who comes in, who goes out, etc. and all. That is not a mission vision. That is not a mission vision. Question number 6. Which is not the true one with respect to artificial intelligence category. Voice recognition software is there. Point number B. Some AI applications are able to learn data and self-correct according to the instructions provided to them. Yes. Some AI applications currently in use where human intelligence are being able to build their own knowledge bases without any human intervention. No, this is not possible. Without a human intervention, AI will not work. at least the command, at least the prompt, at least the expectation, at least the input that you have to give, so that it will work and give you what? And give you the desired results. So which is not true? That is correct option is what? C. Point number 7. Strong AI exists in theory only. That means everything it will take care. Okay. It does not exist. However, if it did exist, if it is existing, definitely it will be equal to human intelligence. So A is not an option. It will be exemplified by voice recognition software. Yeah, definitely. If strong AI exists, okay, it will be able to create its own knowledge base and program itself. It will not take data from anywhere. It will think, it will create knowledge by itself, as well as what? Knowledge base, database, and create a program for itself. That is what is a strong AI. Question number 8. Which of the following is a false statement with respect to applications of AI? Chatbots, okay, machine vision can be used for analyzing the data. Satellite imagery and machine learning can be used. When robotic process automation is being used, if there is a flaw in the instruction, robot will be able to use intelligence to correct the error. No, this is not possible. Robots are there to do routine tasks like packing or picking and delivering, things like that. Okay, dispersing cash or collecting and counting cash. Okay, that can be done. If there is a flaw in the instruction, robots will be able to use intelligence to correct the error. No, robots will not correct the errors by themselves. Robots cannot and will not. Okay, that is question number 8. Robotic process automation, where routine tasks are done by machines. Okay, if there is a flaw in the instruction, robots will not be able to use AI, intelligence. Weak AI. What is a weak AI? It is not equal to human intelligence. It's not required for ERP, etc. It uses extract information from the data warehouse. No such thing. See, weak AI is not conscious. Okay, it is not conscious. It can simulate human cognitive functions. Clear? Human, instead of doing it manually, you do it through a machine. You do it through a machine. Which of the following are the applications of AI? Which of the following are applications of AI? Yes. Robotic process automation, weak AI, machine learning, digital assistance, machine vision. Yes, I hope all the things are part of AI. It can be weak or strong. All these components or examples are part of which one? Artificial intelligence. Question number 11. Which of the following statements about AI is true? Strong AI is more common than weak AI? No, we have only weak AIs. Robotic process automation is an example of weak AI. Yes, it's weak AI because with human intervention and routine tasks only it can handle. It cannot think. It cannot think. So 11 it is B. 11 it is B. Which of the following is not form part of weak artificial intelligence? Apple Siri, robotic chatbots, all these are weak only. Cloud computing is not part of artificial intelligence at all. Storing data in the cloud is not part of which one? Artificial intelligence at all. It's neither weak nor strong. Okay, it's not part of artificial intelligence. Next, we'll discuss about 2 minutes about cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Simple, your data is not stored physically by you. It is stored in the cloud. Expenses data, image data. Simple, you upload your images, documents in Drive. The classes are recorded and uploaded in the Drive. And of course, even your WhatsApp backup, you do it in the Drive. In a Google Drive, you do it. Clear? Like that, companies also store their complete information in the Drive. And whenever they need, they can take it and do it. Simple. It's like you will have a system. From the system, you will not take any data and work. From the cloud, you will take the data and work. It can be accounting sheets or accounting ledgers, or it can be softwares, or it can be anything that is stored in what? Cloud. Okay. Software as service. For example, you could have seen the latest announcements or latest maybe social media news, like Zoho is providing cloud services. It's not only for storing the data. You can analyze the data, you can rework on the data. They customize and develop applications and give it to you. Where you can link your website with that, you can link your sales orders with that, you can link your inventory with that. Okay, no need to have a system. With a small tab you can manage kind of a thing, and no need of installing any software in the system. Just give the access to the cloud, people can work on it. That is what software as a service. Okay, it is for multi-tenant uses. Okay, sometimes platform as a service also they use it. What do you mean by platform as a service? We give you a platform where you store, where you record, where you analyze information like that. They provide which one? Infrastructure as service, such as physical storage and other things. They do it kind of a thing. Okay, hardware resources that supports which one? Cloud is also being provided. This includes server, storage disks, network components. All those things are being provided. So in cloud computing, you can store the data. You can use the software as a service. Microsoft 365. No need to install in the system. Just go to the web. Okay, you can just work on your Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and other things. That is called as what? Software as a service. And it can be like platform as a service, right? Capacity that is provided to the customer to deploy what? Cloud infrastructure. Okay, that is applications are created for customized. Okay, infrastructure is hard disk, drives, networks, etc. are being stored. Cloud computing, which is not a concern about cloud computing. Which is not a concern about cloud computing. Security concerns are not a concern because you have got a strong user access password, etc. Cloud you cannot access. Data governance issue will not come because it is secured. Reliability of the internet, of course, that is not an issue now. Any remote place you can definitely rely and you can access. The thing is technological updates. For example, I am storing for the past 10 years the lectures or the accounts, etc. in the Drive. New technology comes. Will it affect my cloud computing? No. So technological updates are not part of which one? The issues of cloud computing. Read question number 2. Please read question number 2. Question is, which of the following would not likely to be among concerns switch to cloud computing? It's like you're a vendor, you're selling the products, okay, you are taking the orders, etc. And you want to use cloud computing, okay, for storing the data, for accessing the data, for retrieving the data, all those things. So if you do the work in cloud, do you require a big RAM or a technologically updated software, etc. and all? Cloud will take care of everything. Okay, cloud will take care of everything. You can use even a old system and you can work in the cloud because the deliverables are coming from which one? Cloud. Data is not going to be vulnerable because you are going to have a control of the data. You're not going to install any updates because in the cloud software itself, that will automatically get updated. Microsoft 365. Whether you need to update, it is getting updated frequently in the cloud itself. Whether you need a mobile to update a tab, in the tab you update Microsoft 365. No, the cloud that is getting automatically updated by the service provider. So, which is not a concern. This is not a concern because you need not worry about software updates that will automatically happen in cloud. You're not going to manually do anything. If you have a physical system only, updating the updating the system takes time, and sometimes it is complicated also. Which one of the following computing resources provides both software and hardware services? They provide both software as well as what? Hardware. It is not platform, it is not technology, it is not software, it is infrastructure. Infrastructure will include both software as well as what? Hardware. Which of the following statements most accurately describes software as a service? Again, I am going to Microsoft 365 or Zoho Cloud Computing. The same software is used by multiple clients for doing the business process. Use the same software. 5, 10 companies, 20, 30 companies use the same software, and of course they do the cloud computing. That is called as what? Rendering software as a service. Question number 5. What is cloud computing? Organized laptop and desktop computers. No. Record of transaction in a chronological order is to do with accounting. Internet is not cloud computing. A model enabling on-demand network access, sharing of computer resources that can be rapidly provisioned, released with a minimal management effort to the service provider interaction, like water electricity from a utility company. See, from cloud, I take the data, I work the data, or I get the software, or whenever the information is required, I can take it. That is what is cloud computing. That is what is which one? Cloud computing. Information is stored digitally. I take the data and use it at any time. Software as service is nothing but ERP system service locally, there is not cloud. Database management system service by a third party for example, my data is managed by a third party for an annual fees. That is not the thing. A type of cloud computing which applications are hosted by a third party it can be for a monthly fee or yearly fee, or it can be like one-time fee like that. For example, you subscribe to Zoho or Google One, or you can subscribe to this one Microsoft 365. They charge an annual fee. It's a cloud computing. The CEO of the company expressed concern about IT management plan, contract with a third party to obtain which one? Software as a service, because we are not comfortable, or we are worried about giving our IT management plan contract with a third party, software as a service. Why? The third party can access your information and supply. For example, you store everything in the cloud. Let us assume Google OneDrive or Google Drive or OneDrive. You are storing the information, or you are using Microsoft 365. Can Microsoft team or the people access your information? Yes, they can. One of the best examples is you get a call from a credit card marketing agency or a investment banker telling that, sir, you're having a huge bank balance. Why can't you think of a mutual fund? How? The data goes to something, somewhere else. Apart from your banker, somebody else gets your data. That is what? Risk of unauthorized access can be there. Question number 8. Which is not true. Cloud computing can be used in a way affordably, create redundant IT system. Yes, because I need not bother about the system or updates or about the mission. Okay, even 10 years old computer can take care of the thing. Yes, cloud computing reduces control risk from the. No, it has nothing to do with internal control. Cloud computing will not help you to reduce any risk arising there is from internal control. Internal control and cloud computing has no relationship. If you go for cloud computing, whether internal control will be better? No. Or it will be worst? No. There's no relationship at all. There is no relationship at all, which is not true. Correct option is B. Question number 9. Which cloud computing service provide capability to the user to deploy into the cloud, to deploy onto the cloud, no physical infrastructure, onto the cloud. The user created and acquired applications created using the programming languages, libraries, services and tools applied by the cloud provider. It is not software. It is not which one? Software as a service. It's not one software used by multiple people. It is not technology. It is not technology. We are not providing any infrastructure there. It is called as what? Platform as service. Platform as a service. Which is not part of cloud computing service, hardware as service. Infrastructure, platform, software can be there. Hardware service, there is nothing to do with cloud. Okay, there is not related at all. Question number 11. Applications such as enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, accounting, tax, payroll, management, document management, service desk management, online processing, spreadsheet application in email are part of which cloud computing, which computing category? Can you answer this? So we are going to provide facility for ERP, CRM, accounting, tax, payroll, tax filing, everything. So here we are going to provide both software as well as technology as a service, platform as a service. It's called as what? We are giving a complete infrastructure as a service. We are giving what? Complete infrastructure as a service. Which one of the following is true with respect to cloud computing? True. In cloud computing, if you don't have internet, the access will be interrupted. Applications in the cloud, you need not download, install and all. That will be there in the cloud. That will be there in the cloud. Usage of cloud computing can easily change from one cloud provider to what? Another computer. No. For example, if I use Zoho or OneDrive or Microsoft 365 with OneDrive and maybe Google Drive, so that is not the same. I cannot change it easily. You cannot change it easily. We would rely on the cloud service provider for a data access control, drive access, or maybe data access or data mining. Everything you would rely on which one? The cloud service provider. Because if they turn their server off, you cannot access the data. You cannot access the data. DAS makes available IT capabilities, giving users to access multiple server-based store, process, manage data. Of course, cloud computing. Store, process and manage data from a remote location. That is possible through which one? Cloud computing. There is no concept called as ITS service. There is no concept called as which one? ITS service. What is a blockchain? The best example is transfer of money. From my account, a block is transferred to your account digitally. Number one. Number two, transfer of shares. I'm having a block of 200 shares. I transfer from a demat account digitally to your demat account. That's a process. Blockchain. Okay, transfer of money, transfer of currency, or it can be shares or certificates or securities. It is including bitcoins also. Bitcoin is a digital currency where from my wallet I transfer to your wallet. There is a kind of blockchain. Smart contracts are entered where without, for example, you are living in UK, I am living in Australia. Without we physically meeting and signing a document, okay, you send a mail with a link. I click the link with my digital signature or with my user ID, access password and all. I sign the contract. That is called as what? Smart contracts. Smart contracts are signed without a paperwork, digitally. For example, let us take, you want to take a franchisee of Domino's Pizza or KFC, McDonald's. Do you travel to Australia or do you travel to Delhi, meet the respective country head, etc., and all to sign the contract? No. Electronically, they provide the information, terms and conditions. You agree to the particular terms and conditions by filling up the necessary data, and you digitally sign the contract. They are called as which one? Smart contracts. Okay. Now go through this. Which is not a benefit of smart contracts. It can take actions automatically. Contracts that can access data from third-party sources trigger specific actions. Yes. Distributed nature of blockchain prevents unauthorized modifications. Correct. Then smart contracts eliminate the risk of mistakes being made executing the contract. No. Since I signed a smart contract, okay, can you say 100% that, okay, I will execute the contract? Execution of contract is not based on normal contract or smart contract. Node, you could have learned, node is nothing but a computer in the blockchain. Node is nothing but a computer in the blockchain. What is consensus algorithm? The two parties or two systems agreeing at the same time, same sense. Okay, come to a consensus means understanding the terms and conditions in the same way. For example, I place an order for 1,000. Okay, you agree to purchase for 1,000. The contract is executed. So when consensus arrived, it creates which one? Proof of work. What is proof of work? Transfer has been made from one party to another party at this particular, agreed price or consensus. Which of the following most accurately describes a blockchain? It has nothing to do with the string of numbers. It has nothing to do with input string length, etc. Groups outstanding transaction into blocks. No. Yeah, it's a public record of transaction in a chronological order, like number of shares transferred, number of money transferred, all those things. What is the purpose of proof of work? it allows nonce, it has a hash function. Yeah. Proof of work. Contract is executed, money is transferred, proof of work. You cannot do it again or it will not be done again. Okay, it prevents which one? Double spending. Sixth one, go through the sixth one. Which one is false, Ketika? Which one is false? Any answer from your end? Which one is false? B directly hits the answer. Once the block is added to the chain, it is impossible to change it. No, you can change it. You have just added the block into the chain. You can reverse, you can cancel, you can modify. Yes, possible. Go to the seventh one. See, in computing system, they use the word small b. They use the small b, that is for Bitcoin tokens, like the volume, the quantity, etc. Where the capital letter Bitcoin refers to which one? It's a protocol in the network. Read the eighth one. Set of promises I make and you make, and thereafter we agree to perform the promises. It is called as which one? A smart contract. It is called as which one? A smart contract. Contract are set of promises. Smart contracts too. Which is not one of the potential risks of smart contract. In specific to the smart contract, which is not a risk. See, smart contract may have operational risk, technical risk, and which one? Cyber security risk. Credibility risk is nothing to do with smart contract. It is nothing to do with which one? Smart contract. Technical risk may be signing a wrong contract, the wrong notions, etc. Operational risk may be there, cyber risk, security risk may be there, but credibility risk is nothing to do with which one? Signing a smart contract. Which of the following is true with respect to transactions in a blockchain? Which of the following is true? It can be changed. They are time stamped, which means executed. No, it cannot be changed, but they can be reversed or what? Re-entered. Yes, cannot change, but you can cancel it or you can go for what? Re-entering. It cannot be deleted. It is not permanent also. Eleventh one. Which one of the following transactions of smart contract is incorrect? Smart contracts are not subject to fraud and manipulation. No. Smart contracts, we have got too much frauds and manipulations. Incorrect. Which one is incorrect? Smart contracts are not subject to fraud and manipulation. That is an incorrect statement. Random string of characters that is appended to the transaction information in a blockchain are used to verify the block is known as which one? Nonce. Along simple transaction reference number. Transaction reference number. It's called as what? A nonce. Go to the next one. Which is not true. Smart contracts cannot self-execute, that is not true. Protects usage of intellectual property. Okay. Good governance, okay, that can be there. It cannot self-execute. It will self-execute. Executory. Executory means enforceable by law. Look at this. Which of the following statements are about distributed ledger is true? Distributed ledger. The question is about which one? Distributed ledger. Every node, the systems in the network will definitely decide whether each transaction is authentic and which one? Valid. It's not server verifying the node. It is not each node will maintain a different portion of ledger. As long as one node approves the transaction, it will be added to the distributed ledger. No. Every node in the transaction, computer in the network will decide whether there is transaction is what? Authentic or valid, like that. What is a miner? Not a miner. Okay, miner. Simple, a person involved in the activity of grouping the transactions into blocks and of course adding them in the network. Directly hits, that is option A. Let us go for the business intelligence and which one? Big data. Okay, simple. You have the data and data is structured, data is stored. From that you take, analyze and take what? Decisions. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss over here. Look at this. What do you mean by prescriptive analysis? For example, you've got a data. Which one is correct option?
TD. What needs to happen?
Okay, let us take a prescriptive analysis of a doctor. You have taken the data from the patient. It can be blood samples, it can be BP, or it can be like lungs power, or it can be various other tests which are being performed. That gives you values, range of values, observed value, actual value, mean value, past data, etc. They give you. Based on that, they make a prescription. This is what should be done to the patient, which can be exercise, which can be medicines, food, various things they do. Okay, so this analysis is definitely complex, which is not one of the questions management may be able to determine the answer using which one? Prescriptive analysis. If we do versus not do, what will happen? Why it will happen? We can analyze. What needs to happen in order to take the advantage of what will happen? Okay, so those things can be done. What will never happen, you can never predict. What will never happen, you can never predict. Which is not the questions of the management, which may be able to determine the answer for using which one? Prescriptive analysis. What will never happen? Even after administering so many drugs, treatments, etc. and all, okay, there's no chance that it will never happen, like illness or death, etc. You can never, that's not a part of prescriptive analysis. So, which is not what will not happen, what will never happen. Question number 2. New business intelligence system that has been able to gather better understanding of several complex issues that has been struggling with. Okay, he got a better understanding. Which stage of business intelligence process Stephen has reached? He got the information, he has not decided, he has got the knowledge, he has got insight. Yes, you're able to understand what is the real problem or what is the real situation. You got to know what is happening. Better understanding is nothing but insight. Dash refers to amount of data is to do with volume. Speed is to do with which one? Velocity. But B and B is having that same. Dash refers to the form of data created and allocated, variety of data. So automatically A. So if you are able to crack 3 matching, yes, that option. 3A. Go to 4th one. They want to use business intelligence to assist the evaluation of key metrics. The IT manager has suggested incorporating dashboard feature. Which of the following is the main reason that the management should implement dashboard feature? Creating a dashboard and providing the information. The dashboard, the key performance indicators will be there. But it's not nothing to do with production. It's not just giving charts. It is not only about what you have met, what you have not met.
D.
Yes. The dashboard shows the patterns and trends of data across the organization. For example, we go to the dashboard of our, for example, the recorded class access. Okay, that will give us the key elements. How many serial keys assigned, how many students activated the serial key, how many students purchased how many lectures, and how much is the watching time. That data is available in the dashboard, and that gives us the growth or decline trends, etc. Yes, answer is D. Question number 5 are the next. Question number 5. Unstructured data. Hotels using past occupancy rate to determine the room prices. There is a structured data. They maintain in which a day of the week or days of the week the registration is peak or low. Occupancy rate, there is a structured data. Casinos using facial recognition to keep banned gamblers from entering. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. That is not a structured data. That is not a structured data. Real estate developers use economic forecast. That is a structured data. Bakeries using past sales data for predicting future. That is a structured data. Unstructured data is this one. Casinos using facial recognition. Simple. The banned gamblers that will be stored in a random way or in the drive. The facial recognition. Okay, we'll extract the unstructured data from unstructured one and match and will ban, etc. and all. So there is unstructured data in a business. There is no structure in which they are stored. Read question number 6. Lorry is using data analytics and modeling, understanding unique needs of largest customer segment. Read it. Develop understanding of a complex situation. Okay, here also it is, we are understanding the complex situation. Okay, and use back, make recommendation. Okay, in what stage he is in the progression? He got an insight. He has not decided anything. He got an insight about the complex situation, similar to what we have done earlier. Read question number 7. Business intelligence.
User interface.
User interface definitely is part of business intelligence. Then. Business intelligence contains a data warehouse, definitely. Analytics of business, it will be there. And the business performance management is part of which one? Your thing, and business analytics also. Process analysis we don't do in intelligence system. Exception is we don't include which one? The business intelligence system, process analysis. Data science involves the following. Which are the following? Everything. Data extraction, data retrieval, analyzing a big data, data mining, everything. Question number 9. Which of the following best describes evolution of data into action? Yes, first data, through that you get the information, through that you get the knowledge, through that you get insight of the problem, etc. and all. Then take a strategic decision, then finally to what? Action. Answer is what? D. The process of gathering and analyzing data in a way that produces meaningful information that can be used for decision making is known as? It's a definition of which one? Analyzing the data. It is a definition of which one? Analyzing the data. Question number 11.
Option D.
All the options talks about descriptive. Why it is D?
Predictive is what is likely to happen.
Yes, exactly. Descriptive is what happened. Diagnostic is what? Why this has happened. Predictive is what likely to happen. Perspective is nothing but what needs to happen. Which is not
Hybrid data.
Which is not part of big data. Structured and semi-structured data is not part of which one? Big data. Semi-structured data, hybrid data is not part of which one? Hybrid data under our concept that is not there in big data. Question number 13. Records of customer services interaction across email, online, phone and social media fall into which category?
Unstructured.
Yes. It is not stored in a structured way, in an orderly way. It is there in email, online chat, phones, etc. and all. You have to search and find, okay, there is an unstructured data. There is an unstructured data.
B.
Data science, is it use of statistical technique to analyze the large data set of data?
D.
No. Data science need not involve transformation of data into action. No. Because action depends upon the strategic decisions which a data scientist cannot take. Data scientist, what he can take, he can see the data, he can analyze the data, he can gain a knowledge and develop an insight and give it to the CEOs and CFOs. Okay, thereafter they will take a strategic decisions and implement it. So data science extracts hidden knowledge and develops insights from the data and gives it to the top management. Accordingly, the decisions are taken and implemented by the CEO, CFO, etc. So data science stops with, or mainly stops with which one? Getting an insight from the data. Whether sales is dropping, sales is growing, production is improving, efficiency is high or low, and another. Look at question number 15. Always when the lengthy question is given, you read the last 3 lines. Positive outcomes were possible because of the marketing programs combined with organized sales with targets based on the strategic plan and performance data. The change was on account of using
BI.
No, we did not use any AI.
BI, business intelligence.
Correct. These 3 lines tells about, utilizing your business intelligence, making improvements based on that. Question number 16, which is not a benefit of data science, which is not a benefit of data science. It will give you competitive advantage, better decision making is possible. It will not reduce the amount of data. It will not reduce the amount of data. 17th. What is most complex? We had seen already. Descriptive. Very difficult to prescribe an action based on the data.
Data, information, knowledge, insight, strategic decisions, action. Option is.
Yes, data, information, knowledge, insights, strategic decisions and actions. Correct. Which one is not part of it? We have got descriptive analysis, prescriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, and not which one? Detective analysis. Which is not detective analysis, is not part of which one? Data analytics. Okay, so we'll take a break for about 10 minutes. Then we'll continue with which one? Data mining. Because it's a theoretical area where I am involved 99% kind of a thing. You're just, okay, involved like 10%, 5%, 1% like that. So theoretical discussions. Let us have a 10 minutes break. Then let us continue with which one? Data mining. Shall we? Affinity analysis. Affinity is nothing but what goes with what, or what travels with what. What travels with what. It's a name of association rule. Which data goes with which one? Which one travels with another one, like that. Read question number 2. Read question number 2. Okay, retailer of casual clothing for men and women launched a new collection of summer skirts and blouses in April, upcoming season, immediately followed by a huge advertisement campaign, television, radio, newspaper and all, because of the trends in the men clothing had not changed. Men's clothing trend has not changed since the previous year. So we decided not to spend money on revamping their men's lineup for the summer. So they are not going to spend money for men. Clothing. Okay, in August, the management started to work through several months of sales data mining tools to determine success of new women's clothing. Because they were already combining through the data, they also looked at men's summer clothing sales part of their analysis. Through their analysis, senior accountant noticed that sales of men's clothes went up significantly over the same period as women and women's. Okay, concluded that advertising for women clothing also increases what? The conclusion is, if you advertisement for women clothing, that also increases which one? Sales of men clothing. Which of the following errors did the accountant make in their analysis? See, whatever happened casually, men clothing demand went up. It went up casually. He confused with correlation. Because we spent more in women clothing advertisement, men also gone up. So he confused the correlation with which one? What happened casually? What happened casually? Go to question number 3. Similar characteristics.
Clustering, sir.
Clustering. Correct. Simple linear regression. Y is equal to a plus bx. It is not a simulation, it is not a reinforcement learning, it's not unsupervised, it's a simple supervised learning algorithm. We determine the value of y based on a constant, based on a dependent and independent variable. So that is a simple supervised algorithm. Read question number 5. So much variables: marital status, family size, gender, income, occupation, education.
Dimension reduction, sir.
Let us see. So much data is there. So he reduced to family size, income, and past vehicle purchases. So he's reducing what? the dimensions. He reduces what? The dimensions. Multiple dimensions of analysis is there. He reduced to just 3. Dimension reduction is the correct answer. Then, next. A company could use the data mining to help achieve all of the following except. The thing is except. Data mining, it can be used, but through that, how will you achieve privacy for consumers? Customer privacy, no? We can predict machine failures, profitable consumers, different locations demand, we can predict that, but through the mining, you cannot improve customers' privacy. That is an exception. 7th. Which is not an example of neural network. What is neural network? You take the data, create, analyze the data, then based on that you create or see what happens, etc. Okay, that is okay. What is fuzzy logic? From an unstructured data, make some inferences and do it. That is not part of neural network. That is not part of which one? Usage of neural network. Question number 8. Data mining is large multi-step project. In which step data mining project could scientists visualize the data in reviewing the information chart form?
B.
Explore the data, clean the data, then pre-process the data before you go for further analysis or further working on that. Question number 9. First you do this, then reduce the data dimension, then select the data mining technique you want to use, then what is the task? No, it should be the other way. This is the third one. This is the third one. Then finally, then you go for this. So this is the fourth one. Order. So it's like 3, 4, 2. 3, 4, 2. 3, 4, 2. Option D. Question number 10. Usage of regression, neural networks, hierarchical clustering, etc.
B.
No, it is about select the data mining technique to use. In which mining step they ask you? We'll be using regression analysis, neural network, hierarchical clustering. Okay, select the data mining technique to use is the step that they are describing here. Question number 11. In which step data mining project would the data scientist take samples from a large database? Or from other sources? Simple. Select the data set to be used. The step is called as the selecting the data set that has to be used for analysis. Then question number 12. Repetition and refining of a process is known as, it's an iterative process. It's an iterative process. It's not a development process. It's just an iterative process. Question number 13. When used to determine what specific online advertisement to present on a person in browsing internet based on the fact that other people who browse the same things for a particular item, data mining involves
Prediction.
prediction is based on y is equal to a plus bx. That is a kind of a prediction. Clustering is nothing but grouping. I hope it is generalization. Okay, these people browse this, so we come to a general conclusion that okay, when you do that particular set of activities or searches, we come to a generalized conclusion that okay, you will also do that. Developing a generalization that this particular segment of people having these attributes will want this product, will browse this product, like that. Generalization. Which of the following is not a challenge in which one? Data mining. Data security may be a threat. Growing volume of unstructured data may be a threat. And structured data, if it grows, that is not a threat. You can easily mine, you can analyze. Structured data, if you get any number of volume, you can easily mine what is required. Poor quality data is a challenge. Question number 15 next. Which is not part of predictive data analytics. Association rules, visualization, data reduction. Data cleansing is not part of which one? Predictive data analysis. We group the data, we visualize the data, we reduce the data, all these things we do as part of which one? Predictive analysis, but not which one? Data cleansing. 16. Which one defines data cleansing? Oh, sorry, which is data mining. Okay. Not data cleansing, data mining. The process that is used, I hope they're correct. Extract and analyze the data from a large database. Extract and analyze data from a large database, that is 16. Where data mining is used. Descriptive, diagnostic, prescriptive, or like more a kind of theoretical analysis, interpretation of data. For predictions, data mining is used. We see the behavior of cost, we see the behavior of price and demand, and we predict. Predictive analysis, we use which one? Data mining. 18th one. The output is often visual, that is a kind, it's not based on art or science, that is science. Data mining is both science as well as an art. Data mining is an art because it involves thoughtful choices. So much data is there, which data you have to take and analyze. It's a thoughtful process. It's not a scientific process, it's a thoughtful process. 18C.
Dimension reduction.
Using data reduce the manageability, interpretability, etc. Yeah, data dimension reduction, reducing the number of parameters. Question number 20. Hypothesis. No. Testing different hypotheses. Applying the results of one hypothesis as data for another hypothesis. It's not a prediction. It is iteration.
Iteration is repeating the same process.
Yeah, we repeat the same. Check it.
Okay.
We test, then use the result to test another hypothesis like that. We repeat the process.
Okay.
Question number 21. Data mining. B. Thoughtful choices. Science because it has different steps, and not because it decisions are to be taken based on thoughtful choices. Correct. B. 22. Which of the following basic concepts of predictive data analytics involves?
Sorry.
What's the correct one?
Clustering.
Yes. Similar groups, you cluster it together. It is part of which one? Clustering. Collaborative filtering.
Dimension reduction again.
Look at this. Basic concept, predictive data analytics. Predictive data analytics used in collaborative filtering. It's not association rules. It is not dimension reduction or data reduction. Online recommendation systems. Filtering the customers, filtering the choices, and offering the thing, and disclosing what is required, and of course search engines. Predictive data analytics is used in which one? Online recommendation systems. 24. We want to target some segment of customers. We want to cater to different customer groups. So which one is the thing?
Cluster analysis.
Cluster analysis. Group the customers which are having what? Similar properties, then accordingly you design your marketing or whatever may be the strategy. Okay.
-1 to +1.
Yeah, the correlation coefficient can be from -1 to +1. -1 negative correlation, +1 positive correlation. The correlation coefficient can be from which one? -1 to +1. -1 to +1. Automobile replacement of parts dealer in a large metropolitan community. Automate is preparing the sales forecast for the coming year. Data regarding both automobile industry and replacement of parts are available. Last 10 years has been accumulated. If automobile wants to determine the sales replacement parts patterned after the industry sales replacement of parts to sales used in new automobiles, the company will deploy which models? Sales of replacement of part patterned after the industry sales of replacement of parts or sales of used new automobiles. Used and new automobiles. They are applying correlation and regression techniques. They are relating two variables and predicting it. Correlation and which one? Regression analysis would help them. Question number 3. Standard error of A and B is given to us. R squared is given to us. 0.99724 means 99.724 percentage. They have given maintenance cost, etc. for different months. They ask you the percentage of total variance. Nothing but R squared. Nothing but which one? R squared. .99724 is nothing but 99.724%. We had seen, or you could have seen, R is nothing but the coefficient. R squared represents the percentage value. 0.99724 percentage. So all other data is not relevant for solving this. They're not asking you to predict any value. They just ask you the correlation, variance. Variance is represented by what? R squared. Question number 4. Sir, why they give too much of data? That is irrelevant for solving the question. Read question number 4. They ask you questions about multiple regression analysis. It is not dependent and independent variables. One, it's not so.
D.
D. Independent variables and dependent variable. There may be two or plural, two or more independent variables, and that's better. Residual is nothing but, for example, you draw a diagram, there is a regression line. There shall be ups and downs. One minute. You can see here, it's a regression line. Let's assume actual sales is this much. Regression line is here. The difference, we call it as what? Residual. Difference between actual and which one? Observed value. Difference between actual and which one? Observed value. It's not dependent or independent. Actual sales is like 5 lakhs. The expected sales based on the regression line is only 4 lakhs, means the difference 1 lakh. We call it as which one? Residual. Answer is C. Question number 6. logistic means logical analysis and also regression will go together. Directly D hits answer. Okay. Credit score and loan default, income loan default, employment history and loan default. You take a correlation, develop a logic. That will be a most appropriate technique. Which is not a type of pattern in time series analysis.
Basic.
Which one?
Basic.
There is no concept called as what? Basic trend. 8. In a regression analysis based on a sample, what determines the amount of uncertainty caused by sampling methods?
The T statistic. That's the error margin, no, sir?
What determines the amount of uncertainty?
Goodness of fit.
No. Degree of confidence.
I forgot, sir.
Degree of confidence. For example, would have gone through this. See, this confidence intervals will tell you from the trend line what will be the deviation. Plus or minus it will tell us. It is 95% upper boundary, lower boundary like that we had seen. Suppose if you keep the confidence interval or as 90% now, maybe it will be vast, it may be vast. Like that. This confidence interval. So if confidence interval is, for example, if you say 100% confidence means there will be no uncertainty. If you say 95% confidence means there is an uncertainty. Like that.
Okay.
What R squared is about? It's not a casual factor. Casual factor is away from linear model. No correlation, no. That is not R squared. Okay. It assesses how a model can predict an outcome.
So D also means the same thing, no, sir?
That is proportion of variance. Or which variable is given? Independent variable is given.
Okay. Inverted.
So question number 10. Question number 10. In regression analysis, which of the following correlation coefficient represents strongest relationship between independent and dependent variable? Strongest relationship.
0.75.
Why can't it be 1.03?
Because it can't be more than 1.
R cannot be more than 1. So 0.75.
So, 0.89 or strongest negative or positive cell.
Generally, strongest relationship now positive relationship.
Okay.
Question number 11. Variable that is being predicted is dependent variable.
Why?
Question number 12. Error of the term in regression analysis. Error is nothing but difference between predicted value and which one? Actual value. We predict something, when in the prediction if error happens, actual may be different. Difference between predicted value and which one? Actual values. 13. Correlation coefficient of a simple regression analysis. 0.85, it is high, but it will not be downward sloping, it will be upward sloping. This is not the correct one. Indicates 0.85 indicates, no, this is not low, this is high. It's upward, okay. It's upward, it is okay. 0.85, it is not low, it is high. It will be downward, this is correct. Okay. What is
0.85 high, downward.
0.85 is high, yes. And regression line will be what? Negative, so downward sloping arc. So which is the correct answer? D. D, the 14th one. It is not correct. R squared cannot be zero. Yes.
So what's the meaning of least squares line?
I didn't get you.
Least squares line.
No, there is no such meaning.
Okay.
Okay, 15th one. They ask you to work out estimated value. If the company spends advertisement 1,000, what will be the value? So answer will be 10,000 plus 2.5 into $1,000. This is the constant 2.5 into 1,000. What is the answer?
12,500.
12,500 is the answer, which is correct. B. 12,500. Y is equal to A plus BX. 16th. Goodness of fit. What is goodness of fit? Observed values or closure, very closure to which one? Predicted values.
B, sir.
Yes. Seventeenth. Correlation is a form of frequently used in conjunction, and it is measured with the correlation coefficient R. The best explanation of R is that
D. It's a measure of the relative relationship between two variables.
yes, it's a measure of relationship, positive or negative and the number of cars that are sold is given to us. You can find it is increasing. It represents a trend. There is a growth in trend. If you make a chart for this, it will be like this. Somewhere, be like this. It falls a trend or it creates a trend. 19th one. Y is equal to A plus B. Which one now?
Constant coefficient.
Which one is correct? Slope of the line. They ask you about slope of the line.
Mx plus theta m the slope, so it will be in trend.
No, which of the following represents slope of the line? Which will determine the slope of the line? Is it steeper or flatter or slightly sloping? Which one will determine the variable coefficient? The line. Okay, it's not the proper line. Okay, will it be like
Variable
this?
coefficient is what, sir? In the equation, B then is
Degree of change.
ಇಲ್ಲ a plus bx lo which is the variable coefficient
bx.
அதுதான் beans சொன்னேன்.
Oh, okay.
ms plus c ல ms so இதுல beans சொன்னேன்.
Variable coefficient.
Yeah.
Read this. Read this fully. Uses revenue graph for last 4 years.
Trends. மேல கொடுத்திருக்கு. So second line, over the last 4 years, Patrick had worse and worse cash shortages.
Trend will be the answer. Definitely a trend will be the answer. The options are like, all options include the trend. Which are the other things?
Seasonal.
Recession in the economy.
Irregular.
That is irregular. Okay, that is not a point. That is not a point.
Seasonal or irregular?
There is a seasonal variation also. So which one is correct? There is no cyclical thing here. So 3 cannot be an option. 3 cannot be an option. So it's only what? 1 and 2. Because you want to predict something, projections cannot be done with which one? Irregular pattern.
Irregular.
So projections can be done with which one? Trend and which one? Seasonal patterns. So answer is 1 and 2. There's a linear relationship between independent and dependent variable means that
Caesar.
yes. So predicted values of dependent variable and value of each independent variable resulting from a regression line will be a straight line. It will not be like this. It will be a straight line. Question number 22. Which of the model follows scenarios that illustrates challenge related to overfitting when fitting analysis of model of data?
Bees.
Yeah. We analyze the historical data but fails to predict the future outcomes accurately because of the memorized noise of which one? The training data. We are not able to predict. In the regression model, the inclusion of an error, the term recognizes which of the following? Why are we including an error term? Because the regression model may be imperfect. Variables that may have been measured with error. Some variables help to explain the behavior of the independent variable may not be included. Error comes because of certain exclusions. Okay, answer could be all the above. Error comes or observed values and actual values differ. Predicted values and actual values differ because of all these reasons.
Variable coefficient.
B refers to variable coefficient. Read 25 and answer.
Linear regression. Quantitative technique.
Which one is correct? Think. Three possible independent variables are there. Three possible independent variables are there, are considered shift, mile shift and pound shift. So we cannot use regression where we can use one dependent independent variable. Three possible independent variable, it's better to go with which one? Linear programming. Okay. For example, y is subject to x1, x2, x3, like that. We can do that. Question number 26. It's a number game, so let us go to that. So household income is 85,000. Base sales is 1 lakh, okay. That increases by 2,000 for each income of the previous month, okay. By 10 and 1 for each annual average household income above 75,000 is given. It decreases by 10 for increase about 75,000. When 48 new outcomes were sold in the next month is given to us. See, income level moved from 75,000 to 85,000. So, the extra income is $10,000. For each $1 increase, okay, $10 sales is expected, okay. 48 new homes were sold during the previous month is given to us. So that is 2,000 for each home sold. So how to solve this? The base is 1 lakh plus one variable 2,000 for each home sold into 48 homes sold plus income level from 75,000 to 85,000 increased. So 10,000 into 10,000 into 10. What is the total value? $1 lakh plus 1 lakh plus 96. 96,000. Any doubt in it? It's a multiple regression analysis because the value depends on the constant, variable 1 and variable 2. Variable 1 is number of homes and variable 2 is income. So expected value is 2,96,000. What R square indicates? What R square indicates? Total variation in dependent variable y that can be explained by variations of independent variable x in simple regression lines. Yes, the total variation is expressed. 28th. Two variables are regressed on one another, which means both moves in the same direction. Both moves in the same direction. So R will be equal to 1. Variables regressed against each other means it moves in the same way. So R will be equal to 1. R will be equal to 1.
1.
What is the difference between simple and multiple?
Simple has only one independent variable, whereas multiple has more than one independent variable.
So which is
Sorry, independent.
B. Simple regression equation, 1, multiple, there will be more than 1. 30. Which of the following appropriate to use logistic regression? So you apply regression, develop logic, then predict or use or create, take a strategy. Okay, classify the customers likely to respond favorably versus what unfavorably to a promotional campaign based on the demographic information. We are not using any mathematical model. We develop a logic. Okay, these customers will respond, these customers will not respond, like that. So based on the past data, this is numerical, mathematical model. Trends are mathematical model. Scale of 1 to 10, it is a mathematical model. Logistic model is this one. A. 31. Goodness of it or confidence intervals. What is goodness of fit? What is perfect fit? Observed values and actual values will fall within that confidence interval. We have upper limit, we have a lower limit. Within that, observed values and predicted values will fall. It will not deviate. It will not deviate. So what is a proper goodness of fit? How close value predicted by a statistical model match with which one? Observed values. That is called as goodness of fit. If goodness of it is not there, then predicted values may be different from which one? Observed values. It's a repeated one. How close actual observed values are to the predicted values. Which is not true they ask for. Which is not true they ask for.
Option D.
Irregular pattern will not have a predicted value. Which is not true. Irregular pattern has a predicted value is a not wrong statement. Which is not true. That is the option. Weakest linear association. Weakest linear association is which one?
0.11.
Why?
Closest to 0.
Yes. They don't tell positive or negative. They don't tell positive or negative. Weakest linear association, it can be a positive or negative, which is closer to 0, which is closer to 0. How to work out this answer?
20.63, sir.
How?
5.23 into 1.54 plus.
No, think.
Sorry, 5.23 plus 1.54 into 10. 15.4 plus 5.23.
5.23 plus 1.54 into 10. What is
Which
that?
is basically 5 plus 15.
20 points. Correct. 36 part next. Which is not true about regression analysis. Which is not true about a regression analysis. This question, will regression analysis cannot be performed without historical data. That is true.
Here,
C. Use of inappropriate dependent variable may lead to which one? Misleading results.
that is true now, sir. எல்லாமே not true. எல்லாமே true தான் இருக்கு.
Let us see which is true. எல்லாமே true தான். Not a proper question. Not a proper question. Leave it.
Okay.
Relationship between independent and dependent variable is a regression line. X increases, Y decreases. X increases and what? Y decreases in the same proportion.
Perfectly negative.
It is a perfective negative correlation. R is minus 1. No. Negative R is minus 1. R is minus 1. First one is negative R is minus 1. Regression line will show which one? Downward. Answer is 1. Negative correlation. R is minus 1. Downward trend. It will show downward trend.
C, sir.
It is very simple, does not capture complexity of what? Underlying data patterns. Underfitting arises because of that. Financing new versus what? Old vehicle. Financing new versus old vehicle. They use data analytics based on several factors such as age, length, employment, credit score, income, etc. and all. The most appropriate analytical model that should be used is which one?
Multiple regression.
Here, certain things, certain things cannot be correlated properly.
Okay.
For all these things, statistics may not be available. Credit score can be available, income can be available, but age, length of employment. So better to use which one? Logistic regression analysis. What is the purpose of simple linear regression analysis? We want to see the strength of relationship between what? Two variables. Which of the following statements about what? Correlation coefficient is true?
C.
or one indicates what? Perfect positive linear relationships. 42.
A.
Correlation coefficient measures strength of which one? A linear relationship between x and y variables. Correct.
60%.
0.6 now 60%. No, 10 years based on that you cannot work for 11th year, not possible. 89.8% is R squared. That is a variation in sales. No, that's not a variation in sales.
வெறும் D மட்டும்தான் சார் கரெக்ட், பாக்கி எல்லாம்
Slope of the regression line is not 94 point this one.
yes sir, slope is 94.975. Variable
It's
coefficient.
R than A.
R slope இல்ல சார், variable coefficient தானே slope.
Correct.
அது மட்டும்தான் சார் கரெக்ட், பாக்கி எல்லாம் தப்பா தெரியுது.
Correct. Okay, 45. Cyclical pattern. Cyclical pattern is
Less than 1 year. Sorry, the other way around.
a fluctuation that lasts for a period greater than what? 1 year. The cycle will keep on what? Continuing for the past 10 years. Sales during April, May, June, September, October, November, like that. This cyclical pattern continues for what? Greater than 1 year. 46. Least likely to be influenced by
Once again, the large manufacturing forecast of total sales revenue shows is least likely to be influenced by.
for a year. So it's not going to see seasonal pattern will continue year to year the same. So yearly sales is not affected by this because during some months sales will be up, down will happen. That is so many years it's happening. So your yearly sales is not affected because of that.
Square root of coefficient of determination.
Yes. Coefficient of correlation is the coefficient of R squared. In a linear regression, a close match of the moments of two variables over a period of time indicates what? Correlation between the items
High.
or which one? High or positive or negative?
Close match.
We just say high. It can be, positive or it can be negative. We just say it is high. Supervised learning of the algorithm. Simple linear regression.
Okay. Regression line.
The line, the best fit is the which one? Regression line. Which is not a true statement. Read through that. Not a true statement.
B.
B.
Option Option B is multiple linear regression has more than one dependent variable.
More than one independent variable. So which is not true, 51 could be 52. A company uses regression analysis in which monthly advertising expenses are used to predict what? The sales. The independent variable is equal to 0.8 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. So what this indicates? Yeah.
D, sir.
Every additional dollar of advertising results in what? $0.8 of additional sales. They do not ask you to predict the sales. They ask you to predict the predicted change in sales. Predicted sales illa, predicted change in sales கொடுத்திருக்கு. First work out 27 lakhs plus 1.05 into 1.05 into 42,000 plus 0.03 into 0.03 into 2,46,000. Work out the value of this first. This is the current one. What is the answer you are getting for this?
1 second, sir.
Next you work out for the change. Population increases by 2,000. Population increases by 2,000. Now this will become 2,48,000. Then advertisement expenses increases by 5,000 means we are going to spend 5,000 extra.
2751. 27 lakhs 51,480.
2751 480. This one.
1 second, sir. 4 calculator
Okay.
time adequate.
The normal calculator. See the change. They ask you change.
5,310, sir.
5,000. They ask you to work out the change. That's it. 54th question, let us see. R squared is 0.85 means there will be 85% change. %85 variation of dependent variable, not independent variable. 85% variation of which one? Dependent variable. Simulation analysis, we also call it as which one? What if analysis. What if analysis? Monte Carlo simulation analysis is useful in which of the situations? What if I keep changing?
Solutions involving changes to multiple variables at the same time.
Which of the following can be used to find solution mathematical problems that involves changes simulation analysis? Which of the following statement about Monte Carlo simulation is true?
Option A is
A. Yes. Multiple times we change and see what if the change happens. Correct. Which one is not correct with respect to sensitivity analysis? Which one is not correct with respect to sensitivity analysis? See, we don't test any accuracy of the assumptions that should be used before testing the model. We just see what if, that's all. Which of the following statement about data analytics is false?
A.
Can be performed by anyone. It can be performed by anyone. Sensitivity analysis can be used to
A.
what if? What if I keep changing? Economic order quantity is nothing but the right quantity that you will buy. That you will buy. Here also we do what if analysis. What if I buy low quantity? What will be my storage cost, handling cost? What if I buy moderate quantity or high quantity? That is also kind of its analysis. What if analysis? How much you should order it at a time? Okay. Next, data visualization. Data visualization. Let us go through one by one. Tables can be used for data visualization. Tables can be used for which one? Data visualization. Scattered plots are just recording the observed values and based on that analyzing the data. This we can see. Dot plot is nothing but recording minimum, maximum, average values. What is the daily? Maximum sales, minimum sales and average sales we record through which one? Dot spot. Bar charts we use to depict how the movement has taken place. It can be horizontal bar charts also. Okay, it can be vertical multiple bar charts also. Pie chart to express total proportion to shared proportions. Out of the total, what is the shared proportion? We express it in a percentage of the money. Line charts, we see the trend lines over a period of time, which can be there in the stock market, commodity markets, etc. Bubble charts tells you, okay, the volume and of course value. Bigger bubble indicates higher value. It will be placed in a different height. What is a box plot?
Range of.
It will have a minimum, maximum, and which one? Average values. Minimum, maximum, average values can be there. The first quartile is nothing but what? Middle value between what? Minimum and maximum value. Okay, the first quartile is the difference, the range between what? Minimum and maximum value. Second quartile is same as median, 50%. And third quartile is the difference between middle value and maximum value. Middle value and what? Maximum value, like that. Outliers are the value that is far away from that thing. For example, in this, what is this?
Minimum value.
Minimum value. First quartile is the difference. Second quartile is this line.
Median.
Third quartile is this the line. And this is we call it as which one? This we call it as which one? Outliers. The values that are away. The values that are away from that particular range. Here it is, okay, we plot values. Okay, this is minimum, this is maximum. Okay, this we call it as first, this we call it as second, this we call it as what? Third outlier. There is nothing, no outlier here like this. So let us visualization of data. Let us discuss the questions.
Median and maximum value distribution. Option D.
Third quartile represents what? Median and which one? Maximum value. Which is not a value that is shown in which one? Box plot distribution. Mode. No such value called as which one? Mode. You've got maximum, minimum, first quartile, etc. Not mode. Initial public offering of stock by industrial sector is given. First quarter 2002 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Just look at this and tell me the answer. Please keep mute in mute.
Sorry, this is my bad.
Just observe, then I'll give the final answer. Just observe, I'll give the final answer. This is about infrastructure sector. Everything is about infrastructure sector. What is the median price of the infrastructure sector? It is there somewhere here. There are 5 lines, each represents 2 or 4 values on a mark. I hope C is the correct answer. The infrastructure median price is 38, whereas all others the median price is above 60. That is the correct one. Median price is 38. That is in between these 2 lines. You can just observe. Okay. Look at the infrastructure sector. It is not in 36 or 38. There are 5 lines over here. Each will be like 4, 4, 4, like that. It will have a value. It lies between the last 2 lines. Mid line will be around 38. So 38, whereas other median sectors are about what? 60. Same question.
Technology and life sciences.
Which sector has outlier in the data set?
Option C.
Here there's an outlier. Here there's an outlier. Technology and which one? Life sciences. Outlier. Beyond the range. Same thing. Which sector has the highest maximum offer price?
Technology.
Where? How?
Offer price then is it? Outlier பார்த்தாலே போகல சார்.
Maximum offer price.
Oh, sorry, not outliers. Okay. Life sciences.
Offer price. Actual price may be different. The outlier popular. You should see the maximum and minimum range. Life sciences.
Okay.
Next. Maximum offer price depicted in the distribution line of life sciences. Keterka.
117. Option B.
Can find it's like 100. This is like 114. Like the reach line will have like 4 in the mark. 104, 108, 112, 116. Above that there is a small thing. So 116, 117.
Life sciences.
Highest median offer. Life sciences. Highest median offer is which one? Life sciences. Yes, you can find the median. Highest median amongst the others. Minimal value of life sciences sector distribution.
62, sir.
Is above 60 and below 64, 62. Which of the following represents median in the blocks part of the data?
Second quartile.
The second quartile. First quartile is below the median, third quartile is above the median, second quartile is exactly the median. How does the data visualization work?
Option A is
Yes, option A. Read the 11th question. Which one is the false statement with respect to uses of which one? Data visualization they ask for.
option C is
False.
data mining will use for non-law.
It will not show all the values of a data set. Is it showing all the values of the data? No. It shows only the summarized statistics, but it is reverse meaning is given over. So this is the answer. That is false. It is reverse. Actually, data set shows summarized value, but not what? Full data. In the data mining process, data visualization can be used in yes, we can use all the above. We can explore the data, reduce the data, cleanse the data, all the above. Which of the following data visualization tools would be most effective for revealing lack of relationship between two variables? Lack of relationships between two variables, scatter plot. Where, I mean, there's no correlation. There's no correlation between two variables. Scatter plot will make you to understand better. Which is not true about outliers.
C.
No, they are not high priority data point. They are deviating from which one? Data point. The median of technology sector. Median of which sector? Technology sector. Median of technology sector. 64, 68, 72, 73. It is around 73.
Oh, 73, okay.
Can find 64, 68, 72, just a small up. So 73, it is around what? 73. Read the 16th question, let us answer. So DCSS has increased during the second and third quarter compared to what? First two quarters கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. What is the best way to describe? It's not a pie chart, not a table, but it use which one? Bar graphs. Best example, COVID times. Daily, how much increase in the month? 17th. Income distribution and customer base. Management evaluated different presentation approaches. Histogram.
One second. The company has analyzed income distribution of its management evaluates different presentation approaches. Which one of the following is the best data visualization? What's a histogram, bro?
I'll just better show you what is a histogram. It's again bar diagram. It's again a bar chart, but with different colors. Bar chart with which one? Different colors. We call it as which one? Histogram. Maximum offer pricing in which one? Technology.
85.
Technology. Maximum offer.
Oh, maximum offer price. Okay. Option
84, 88, 92, closer to, it should be around 95. 95. 95. That's it. So we had seen closer to around 300 questions in section F. Hope it will suffice your preparation.
Thank you. Definitely.